Speaking of your dissertation, so do you want to tell us a little bit about what we're reading today?
We're reading Samson Agonistes today, which is John Milton's last poem. When I was an undergrad, I wrote my senior thesis on Paradise Lost, and I think that's how most people know John Milton, is through Paradise Lost. I mean, that's how I kind of got into him. I was in high school, and I was better at math and science, but I always had this sort of what Samson would call an intimate impulse of, something else. I wanted to do something else besides math and science. So I chose English, and I had heard about Milton in high school kind of through murmurings about like this poem about Adam and Eve. And I was really interested in that story, I think, for all my life. And so I just really wanted to read it one day. And I decided, to go to college and become an English major and take a John Milton class. And I fell in love with it, but I actually didn't fall in love with Paradise Lost. I loved it a lot, but I fell in love with all of it. I didn't realize a poet could write more than one thing. I thought they just had to write one thing and that was it. But John Milton wrote a lot. Like, he wrote stuff when he was young. He wrote younger than us about like loving music, and I thought that was just the coolest thing ever, because I really liked music at the time. So he wrote stuff in college about like why learning makes people happier than ignorance, and I thought that was also really cool. So I mean, there was all these other things that I fell in love with him.
That's wonderful. I didn't know any of that. Yeah, I also only know Milton for Paradise Lost,
right?
Which I actually only very recently read.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I read for the first time just a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
thinking,
wow.
Well, I know a couple of people that like John Milton. Maybe I should give it a try, because I have never been good at anything except books and talking about books. I've never been into math or science or any of that, but it's always been more international, global stuff. I don't really know all that much about the English canon or the English, the Anglophone tradition.
Right.
Yeah.
To be fair, I didn't either. I just knew. I was a horrible English major.
Milton was your J.K. Rowling. You just got your rule.
That's right. Oh God, that's funny, because Milton conferences are exactly like sort of Comic-Con and just like dressing up as Satan and Adam and Eve and.
Amazing. I just came back from Necronomicon. Necronomicon, which is H.P. Lovecraft's theme.
Oh wow!
Thing. And it's the same thing where there's a sort of like an academic wing to it, the Armitage Symposium. Just the biggest nerds in the world talking about scary stories, but then part of it is a literal. It's the Necronomicon, and people show up dressed as like Cthulhu and aliens and monsters. So yeah. And a lot of those people that were dressed that way were some of the professors giving presentations.
I mean, that's how lecture courses should happen. I think from now on, you should show up as John Milton or Satan or Cthulhu. Yeah. Wow.
What would you come dressed as?
Oh, that's a good question. Wow, that's a really good question. I would probably come dressed up as Jesus Christ's chariot from Paradise Lost, because Milton describes it in a typically biblical fashion where it's just like all eyes.
Oh,
it's like some just straight out of H.P. Lovecraft.
Accurate chariot.
Yeah. So maybe that's what I'll show up as. Yeah. I would pick Samson, but he's once described as in slavish habit and ill-fitted weeds, overworn and soiled.
Oh my God!
I would just show up as I normally do.
That sounds pretty niche too. I don't know if I'd recognize the reference.
Yeah. You just be like, that's Sam again. He's just.
Oh, and you share a name, well, sort of. Sam.
I mean, only one person has made that reference before. I've thought about that a lot, actually. It's nerdily enough, but Samson comes from the word for like son in Hebrew, Shimson. Mm-hmm. Also, Milton's cousin once said that Milton thought it meant to be repeated. Like Milton thought it meant that the verb that it comes from is like to repeat, which kind of makes a lot of sense for Samson Agonistes, because in a weird way it repeats a lot of the themes and images and just ideas Milton was wrestling with throughout his life. But I have a theory, and it's a very far-fetched theory, that it comes from also the word to hear in I wouldn't be able to pronounce it in Hebrew, but it has like the same lettering, just different vowels. And so I think Milton also kind of knew that, because I'm writing my dissertation on listening and sound in Samson Agonistes. So maybe I'm just sort of like contriving evidence for my book.
It sounds like there's a lot there, because I don't know much. I'm going to learn about John Milton today, like everyone else listening. I don't know much about his life, but I do know that he was blind.
That's right.
Musicality and orality and all that probably does matter to him in a way that it wouldn't normally.
Absolutely. It absolutely does, I think. And even when Milton wasn't blind, I mean, I mentioned the poem he wrote about music. He loved music. He was a musician. His father wrote choral hymns, some really like arrestingly beautiful hymns like that, just kind of make your goosebumps sort of stand up. So he was always obsessed with listening, and I think the Protestant tradition was trying to sort of recuperate this understanding from the Old Testament that, like, you know, the Hebrews were the chosen people who could hear, you know, God's word, and they were trying to use that and reclaim that against Catholics, who sort of, according to Protestants, were sort of, you know, all about the eye. Mm-hmm. So I hope there's a lot going for me. I mean, I hope my dissertation advisors there's a lot going for me. But yeah.